folks, Bill of the North here. I just wanted to do a video today about privacy in the backcountry. I'm a private person. I'm out there hiking, backpacking, camping, whatever, and I'm often by myself, and I just want to be left alone. And I really don't want a stranger approaching me in the woods and striking up conversations or tagging along and spoiling it for me. So I try to remain as unseen as possible by wearing subdued clothing and being quiet. And so that's kind of what this video is about, just being unseen, protecting your privacy, and by extension protecting your security in the backcountry and in the woods. And I've dug up some old video and some pictures from the internet, and I'll just kind of talk about it a little bit. So if this interests you, stay tuned. I'm no expert on security, so this is just my thoughts and opinions on being left alone. So here is the kind of clothing I'll typically wear in the woods, and you'll notice there's no camouflage really. I don't wear a lot of camouflage anything other than some of my gear has a camouflage pattern on it. But these are just olive drab shorts, cargo pocket there. They work really well. These are gray military cut trousers, and there's a brown pair right here. And again, they work really well. They blend in, they're not obtrusive, they don't stand out. And in the shadows and stuff, they blend well. And I can just stop moving and I become unseen. Throw on a khaki shirt, or even this bleached out light blue one, or a brown shirt, and I just don't stick out that much. Khakis work pretty well, I think, especially in the winter and the fall months when the trees are kind of bare. But even year round in the summer, they don't stick out too much, especially an old pair where the fabric is kind of scruffy a little bit and the fabric shine has worn off of it. New fabrics shine quite a bit. This pair is kind of by default slightly camouflaged. I spilled some paint on them, so I just painted the knee pads and the rear pockets olive because it kind of is a complementary color and it makes it look like the pants are supposed to be that way.
New synthetic fabric has a lot of shine, and here you can see the different amounts of shine from different aged fabrics. Here we see a yellow rain fly, and doesn't take a lot of imagination to see it sticks right out like a sore thumb, and somebody walking by even from a considerable distance could spot it through the trees and be attracted to come over and check out your camp if you're not around, or might want to visit you in the middle of the night. So I think a brown or a gray or a green rain fly in such a circumstance might work out better and certainly would do less to spoil the view of other people. In this next photo we see a woman in the winter in the forest wearing a red coat or jacket, and she's by herself, and the main problem there of course is if somebody is following her or stalking her or just making her uncomfortable. There's not much she can do about it. It's hard for her to hide even if she gets into some thick brush, some evergreens or what have you, and gets behind it. Anytime she moves to look around, she moves and potentially gives herself away. So maybe rethink that red jacket next time. In this photo we see two backpackers or day hikers. One has a red shirt on, the other one has a bright yellow backpack on, and they're admiring the view. But I can imagine that somebody on the mountaintops on the other side looking across at them would be able to see them. At least with binoculars they would stand out. In this photograph we see three backpackers or hikers in some fairly open terrain. Really the guy in the red or the gal in the red is the one that I have the most problem with. He can be seen probably from a mile away easy with a naked eye, and if they're trying to shake a pursuer or hide from somebody, they're going to have a heck of a problem in that kind of terrain. Basically what you want to do there is get low below the brush line and just stop and let whoever's pursuing you, or who is bothering you, just pass on by if you can. At least that's what I would try to do. But wearing red like that makes that difficult, and any movement, of course, shows. Most prey animals, I understand, are killed or captured while they're trying to run and get away. So I've always kind of had the philosophy of just stop. Just stop, find a place to hide. Not an obvious place, but just stop and let the other person move and let them leave. In this next picture, we can see 4 people moving across some fairly open terrain with some evergreen trees there. 3 of them stand out. The 4th person blends actually pretty well with the evergreens, and he or she could simply sit or stand next to or behind or even in front of one of the evergreen trees, and if they weren't moving, chances are you wouldn't notice them unless you were very observant. The next couple of pictures are just people wearing camouflage, and from a distance they're going to blend right in. They're going to be very difficult to see. So it's something worth considering, not necessarily camouflage, but some kind of subdued earth tone colors when you're out in the woods, just for your own privacy and possibly for your safety and security.